You are about to enter a great adventure.
This is Strutting from Gorilla.
Welcome back, everybody, to Strutting from Gorilla. I am here. This is Big Vito with Mikey Cash, and we are two gentlemen, used to be four gentlemen, in our mid-30s that love to talk about wrestling. And what are we talking about today, Mikey Cash?
Well, what we're going to be talking about today is the Royal Rumble of 2022. You know, we're just going to give some general thoughts, kind of run through some of the matches that stuck out to us. And I think we're also going to be touching on why this pay-per-view overall felt a little bit like a dud.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster of emotions with WWE lately, Mike. And I was on a high. I was really being positive. You know I was being positive.
I know you were. I know.
And this was just a wet fart of a pay-per-view, in my opinion. There might be some people out there that like it, and that's completely fine. But, oh, my God, I hated every second of it. I shut it off, and I wasn't even angry. I just I'm not surprised.
You just became apathetic towards it. Like, I have no feelings now towards it. So I just shut it off. Yeah, I get it. I think a lot of people felt that way. And for me personally, I'll just give my general overall thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I felt as though there was a lot of like fan hype for this one. And I think, and here's my theory. And I fell for this too. When we saw the announcement that Mickie James was going to be in the Women's Rumble, and there was a lot of news and a lot of significance to the fact that you were having somebody from another wrestling organization be in a WWE pay-per-view and in a prominent role. I think a lot of us just got excited and started thinking, well, what's going to happen with the Men's Rumble now? Are there going to be other women that are going to enter from other organizations? And we just started like fanboying out. And I think in some ways we created our own disappointment because we got too hyped up and we gave them too much credit. Because at this point, and I've talked about this till I'm blue in the face, we expect too much from them at this point. They have not shown us, WWE has not shown us over the years that they can meet those kinds of expectations and overall book smartly. So the Rumble happens. The Men's Rumble was boring as fuck to me. I don't know about you, but dude, I felt like that was super boring. A majority of the guys that were coming in there was been past Rumbles where you had almost half of the guys that were in it where you felt, all right, there's a legitimate shot one of those guys could win. And as soon as certain guys got eliminated, like as soon as Styles got eliminated, I was like, oh, there goes a potential guy that could win it. You know, it just felt like there was no rhyme or reason to this Rumble. And then Lesnar coming out at number 30, I just felt was unnecessary. And I kind of feel the same way with Rousey. I actually like the Women's Rumble more overall than the Men's Rumble. I thought it was better handled. But man, like, so now you have two part-timers that have won this Rumble.
Yeah, it's
Yikes.
Disgusting, dude.
I mean, it's just feeding the internet frenzy too. And
yeah.
I had a lot of issues with it. There were a couple bright spots though. I'll put this out there and then I'll hand it over to you, Vito.
Sure.
One of the bright spots was, in my view, the end of the Lesnar-Lashley match. Now, my issues with the fact that wasn't a clean finish aside, the thing I liked about it was that storyline with Reigns and Heyman.
Yeah.
For some reason, for me, I really like the fact that they're this like toxic, codependent, this toxic, codependent family relationship is what it sounds like. Where they're fighting with each other, but then I think in the build up to this, right? There's a segment on SmackDown where where Heyman's like talking to Brock, like, "Hey, don't talk to him like that," and Reigns does the same thing to Heyman. I don't know why, but like it kind of like just cracks me up.
Yeah,
but I thought that was handled well. Another match that I think got screwed because the sign caught on fire was Becky and Doudrop. The crowd really wasn't into that match, and obviously everyone's attention was elsewhere because there was a fucking sign on fire and they were clearing out a section of the stadium. So I think it was impossible to get fully invested in that match. But I rewatched it this morning before we recorded. And I got to say, I think that they had like a really good pro wrestling story. It was actually a good match. It just was a victim of circumstances, unfortunately. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Those were a couple of the bright spots that I saw.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with pretty much everything that you said. The couple things that I'll mention is hashtag Forbidden Door frauds, right?
It was fraud.
Like I can see Vince McMahon in the back of his, backstage as the build up to this comes, and he goes, "We're gonna get them, pal. We got Mickey James coming in. They're gonna think we got Cody Rhodes, and it's gonna build up. We got him, pal." Right?
Yep.
It's just one of those things. It's like,
instead we got Shane McMahon again.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing about Shane McMahon. I was reading this morning. He's got super heat backstage right now because he was the producer of the Royal Rumble match, and everyone's pissed at him because he wanted to be in the Final Four. And like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, where have we come and where are we going? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. We're
going in a circle, Vito. That's where we're going.
And here's the other thing, like the Brock Lesnar thing, like, enough Brock. We don't need Brock Lesnar to win the Royal Rumble. Like, you just don't. He's done everything. He could go on, and we've talked about this, Mike. Mm-hmm. He can go on, main event WrestleMania, and not have to win the Royal Rumble. And you could have somebody who is, I mean, you could have had Sheamus win it for all I care, and I probably wouldn't have been, like, enthralled.
It could have been anybody else.
Yeah, it literally could have been anybody.
And dude, we talked about this earlier. I think we talked about this last night. WWE has already created the narrative that Brock Lesnar does whatever he wants and pretty much gets it. So with that in mind, you don't need the vehicle of the Royal Rumble win to get the title shot. They've already established that he doesn't need to win a Rumble in order to get what he wants.
Right.
He can pretty much circumvent whatever made up rules they have in WWE to get his championship matches. So it wasn't necessary.
Correct. No, it 100% wasn't necessary. And it blew the winds out of the sail. Like so for me, I thought the men's Rumble was boring. We'll get into the women's Rumble because I thought that was the highlight of the night, in my opinion.
It was.
But if we're gonna start, you mentioned the Lashley Lesnar match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty good too.
Yeah.
You could see that it was hard hitting. The thing I didn't like about it though is you knew Lashley wasn't gonna win that clean. Like, I just knew he wasn't going to win it clean. You want to know why? Because Lesnar has this complex, and it's like, you could tell they kind of really don't like each other a little bit. Like,
Bobby,
right? Am I wrong?
I think that was a direct shot.
Yeah. So there's no way Lesnar's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to let this guy go over on me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you could see it wasn't going to happen. But the thing I did like was you're right, the Paul Heyman storyline. So it did make that a little interesting.
Yeah. Ultimately, Roman Reigns made the thing more interesting.
Yeah.
Which is something we thought we'd never hear ourselves say.
Correct. And I give Roman Reigns credit. He's doing a great job.
He is. His match with Rollins was actually really good.
It was good. I just hated the ending. I don't think you needed to do that. Like, again, so many steps forward and a few were taken back last night. It just, it's so frustrating, man.
I liked Seth Rollins coming out in the Shield getup. I thought that was
cool.
That was like
pretty cool.
It's legit mind games, and I think that works well.
Yep, I agree.
Got to see Reigns get a little shook, and I thought that was good. Yeah, I'm trying, like you, Vito. I feel like you today because I have that negative cloud hanging over my head, and I'm just like ready to lay the hammer down. So I got to check myself here, because there's plenty of podcasts where all of us just shit on WWE.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm not trying to do that. Like we got to critique it, but also recognize there's some things that they did that they did well.
I agree. The Rollins coming out as a Shield was good. I thought for a second there that maybe
you were thinking Moxley.
maybe
Yeah, I
a
thought
little
so too.
Dean Ambrose
Yeah.
would come in the end, but I knew it would be far-fetched. But that would have been pretty cool. Like, he interferes. Like, what a great way for Seth Rollins to win the belt, right? Like,
Yeah.
Mox comes in and knocks Reigns, right?
But this is the stuff that got us disappointed, because you start just going.
You know what I blame?
Oh, go ahead.
You want to know what I blame on this? Two
What?
things. One, WWE for being a turd, and two, AEW for having just surprise after surprise at every pay-per-view they have.
Just like WWE has conditioned us, AEW has also conditioned us. It's the same thing. Yeah. And so, like, we just get... That's why I put it in our show notes. But are we to blame at this point for repeating the same cycle of disappointment? Because I think in some ways we are. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, 3 times, over 30 years, shame on me. Why am I still expecting something different?
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what it is? We hold on to that past, right? Like,
that's the problem.
There was a point where it was WCW versus WWF, and you had to choose a side. And I was always the WWF guy, and I know you were too. I had points where I liked WCW and whatnot, but like, you almost feel an alliance to them, and it's like, but Mike, I think we have a solution to the listeners out there that are fed up with this bullshit.
And what is
WWE? You want to know what that is?
What?
He's the savior, Vinny Berry, right?
That's right, our boy.
We are going to have him back on the show next week, and he's bringing a fresh new look at other things going on in the wrestling world, mostly independent scenes.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about his new book, the Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 1, and I think he'll give us some better insight, and maybe maybe we'll get
something fresh for people to dive into and expand the world of professional wrestling for people beyond even the big two right now, beyond WWE and AEW.
Yeah, and I agree, and I myself need to expand a little bit more. I know you have taken the step and got the TNA the Impact app.
That's right.
Yep. I'm gonna have to go out there, and because you can go on and watch Ring of Honor for free on their website, and NWA. I'm gonna have to go on and check that.
New Japan has weekly episodes now back on Access TV, so that's a big deal.
Yep. Shout out to Anya, who's now down in Tampa. She's actually going to a New Japan event down there.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
we might have to have her come on and give us a field report.
We're going to have to have her come on as a special guest to give us the rundown of that. So, she'll give us the true opinion. So.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, it just was just lackluster. And it's, what the problem is too? I just feel like they don't have a plan going into WrestleMania.
I was going to ask you that. Where does this go now when it comes to WrestleMania? Obviously, there's a couple things that seem pretty locked in, like Reigns and Lesnar, obviously. But my question is, where does Rollins fit into all of this? Does he now get involved at some point and this becomes a triple threat? We know recently WWE has shied away from those one-on-one main events now. There's usually somebody else in there. Good news,
Mike. Good news. We got 2 nights of main events, so it'll fit. It'll fit in there somewhere in the 18 hours of watching wrestling during WrestleMania weekend. So, it's a great question. I personally don't know how that's going to work. I would think putting Rollins in that match would you don't need to. I think he could have his own feud. Like, let's just build the feud up. Like, this thing with Reigns and Lesnar was great. The COVID thing was kind of a blessing because it's made them kind of build this feud.
Yeah,
and
it created more anticipation.
Yeah,
and even though I think what's going to sour people on this is how they're doing it with the Rumble thing. I think that kind of really soured it in people's minds. So I agree with you where the COVID thing actually created more anticipation, but then what happened with the Rumble was that 2 steps back. It was like, oh, okay, so great. So like it kind of blocked off somebody else getting a little bit of a rocket strap or getting a boost just for Lesnar, just to be used as like a narrative vehicle for Lesnar to get into a title shot that he doesn't need.
I'll give you my road to redemption. Okay, this is my road to redemption thought, Mike. If they want to make this whole thing right, my solution is triple threat match. Lashley, Reigns, Lesnar, undisputed championship. Merge both belts back together. Get rid of this double belt. That would, to me, I would be like, okay, I'll watch that. I'll be excited about that.
But I don't trust them to keep it that way.
Yeah,
it means nothing because just look back to 2014.
Yeah,
they already did that.
Yeah, I know.
And they're gonna they separated it later that year. So I have zero faith that would be nothing but a stunt just to get people interested in that match. But then again, there's no forward thinking. So we're sort of setting ourselves up again because 6 months later, you and I will be in the same position on here complaining about the fact that, well, why did they unify them in the first place? Because now they're just going to separate them again.
It's a fair point. You're right. But you know what? They could also get WrestleMania legend Bad Bunny in the main event again. At WrestleMania.
As far as celebrities go, yeah, his performance was legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
Look, I'll give him credit. He was better than I thought he was going to be, and he did fine in the Rumble too. So I'm not gonna knock.
You just have a personal animosity towards him.
No,
that clouds your view.
It's the same concept I have with Lesnar. I have no problem with celebrities being in WrestleMania or even involved at all. Like I love that. I just don't think they should overshadow some of the wrestlers that have been there. Like if I was a wrestler on the card in WWE right now, I just would be like, what's the point? Like, what is the point? Like, what is there to look forward to here? Like, okay, you're bringing NXT guys up that you're burying, right? And now we're getting momentum, and Big E had some great momentum.
Yeah.
And then they just, boom, shot him in the foot for really no reason.
No.
And that's where I question a lot of this stuff. And look, I know we talk about it all the time. It happens over and over again. So this is just my opinion on it all.
True.
But I would agree. I thought as far as the Rumble goes, we talked about the first match, right?
We should talk about the women's Rumble.
Before we do that though, we're on the point of bad matches. And I'm not going to call this a bad match. I wasn't into it. Was Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice.
Dude,
I didn't even
that
watch
match
it.
Even happened.
Yeah, didn't even watch it, dude. I couldn't even tell. I know Edge won, but I don't.
That sucks because I really like Beth Phoenix too. And I think it's really cool that she's back wrestling again.
Me too.
But my God, like just poor timing. Like why did that match need to be on that card? Like it was there was already so crowded. Yeah.
Well, you have two Rumbles. That alone is challenging. So
that was a lot. So I think I feel bad for all involved because if this was on like the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, that probably would have been great.
Yeah.
And would have stood out as one of the highlights because I think with the caliber of Edge and Beth Phoenix and Miz too, I'll give him some credit, but I think as tough as I can be on Miz, I think he works hard in the ring, but I just think it was the wrong pay-per-view for it.
Oh, agreed.
A personal opinion.
Hey, what do you think? Do you remember War Games in WCW where they had the 3 rings and then they brought it to NXT?
Oh, was that wasn't it like World
War 3? Yeah, that was it. They had multiple ones. What about if they did that with the women's and the men's Rumble and they did them simultaneously? Where you have the 2 rings and in one ring you have the women's Rumble and the other ring you have the men's Rumble. I don't know if it would work because kind of the
that's
the
a
best
lot.
part. Yeah. But it's also a lot to watch 60 people. Yeah. So, I was just curious, but so let's just recap here real quick before we get to the shining point. We'll end on a positive note with
yes, absolutely.
Their stuff. So we got the championship match with Rollins and Reigns. We talked about that. Then we had the Women's Rumble. Then we had, we talked about Doudrop and
Becky Lynch. Yeah.
Becky Lynch, which, you know, I can't give you many notes on it. It felt weird because you're right. The crowd wasn't into it. But I didn't think it was a bad match.
Lesnar versus Lashley.
Lashley was good. It was just, I mean, the thing about that real quick on it was, you know, Lesnar threw Lashley around like a rag doll.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And oh my God, did you notice how he was taking those Germans, by the way?
Yeah.
I was so worried. Does Lashley have like a neck thing or something? Because he kept like leaning over towards his shoulder. And every time he did it, I was like cringing because I was waiting for him to like pop a shoulder out.
Well, I mean, to his defense, how many people can give him a German suplex?
I mean, true. But well, I mean, I don't know. John Cena's a pretty big dude, and he took like 17 of those things.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
true.
Back of his head.
I feel like Lashley's bigger than Cena, though. Lashley's got.
Yeah, I think he's definitely like wider for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a fair point, Mike. That's a fair point. Okay, so then we had those, and
then the men's rumble. Like, really, the only one we haven't talked about yet is the women's rumble.
So let's get right into it, Mike. I'll let you give me your thoughts on it.
I actually, like you, Vito, this was kind of like the highlight. The women's Royal Rumble and then the Becky Lynch match was the two highlights for me of that show. It kind of went downhill after that. But the one gripe I have is that Sasha has not won a Royal Rumble yet. I mean, this woman is an absolute workhorse. And they had her go in at number 1, and I was pumped. And I think we were texting during it, and I was like, all right, this is showing that they trust her, because you need somebody that's a strong worker to sort of be able to pace throughout the match and just hold the stories together of the
like
people
your
that are
Jericho's, Shawn Michaels,
exactly.
AJ Styles. You always have one guy like that.
Yeah,
and Ric Flair.
And Sasha's already done that. She did it in the first one, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, Bianca Belair did it last year too, and I mean, she's no slouch in the ring. But man, as soon as Sasha got eliminated, I was like, damn. I was really hoping this year might be her year. But I liked they had a couple of decent surprises. And one person that I have to say is from another organization that came in was Melina at number 2.
That's true.
She's doing work in NWA and at Impact. So I think that was a great surprise pick. I would love to see Melina and Sasha Banks go one-on-one. So it was really great to see them have some sort of interaction at the Rumble. I'm looking
Maybe
through
they will.
Here. Yeah, I mean, at some point, you never know. I mean, if they're open to having her come in a Rumble, maybe there's something else down the line. It was good seeing Mickie James come out to her actual music, to her hardcore country.
Yeah,
that was
country.
Really cool.
That was really cool.
And they let her come out with the belt.
Yeah,
she was wearing the women's championship.
I mean,
I thought that was really well done.
You kind of have to at that point.
Well, it's a real slap in the face if they don't.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to at that point. Michelle McCool coming out was awesome.
Yeah. I actually do like Michelle McCool.
She was
another one
shape.
That was like wrestled. She was a good wrestler, but she was like in like just that weird period of time where they were like didn't know what they really wanted from the women's division.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. And then seeing Kelly come out was great, and
Mighty Molly.
I
do love Molly Holly. I always have a soft spot for her.
And it was
really good. The
superhero gimmick thing was pretty interesting too. I'm not a Nikki Ash fan. Like I think she's a fine wrestler. I just don't like the gimmick. I mean, it's been done. Not huge fan. Rhea Ripley though,
she kills it.
She's a beast.
She kills it. Charlotte did really well this year too.
Yeah,
I gotta say, I think, personal feelings aside about like whatever Charlotte's doing backstage, when she walks out, man, there is a presence about that woman. You're like,
Queen.
She's big time, and just the way she carries herself is very much like Rick. Despite whatever character flaws might be going on, whatever the hell, we don't know. When she walks out there, man, like that spotlight's on her, and you pay attention.
Yep, 110%. I would love to see
Go ahead.
a Britt Baker
I knew you were
Charlotte
going to say
Flair
that.
match.
I knew you were going to say that.
Imagine like as AEW would put it, a lights out match between those two.
Could be great. Could be great. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Truly, I think with the way things are going for Charlotte and WWE, I think at some point it's only a matter of time. She's going to do exactly what her dad did at one point, just bouncing around.
But if that's the case, then give someone else a push. Like,
I get it. Well, she did win the Rumble, so it's fine.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, and Ronda Rousey, listen, I'm fine with the Ronda Rousey win. I'm more fine with that win than I am with the
I
Lesnar
guess so.
win.
I guess
well, it's only because
it's the lesser of two evils.
Well, listen, it's only because, if we could spend a whole show talking about women's wrestling, and like
we should. By the way,
we can. I have no problem with that. You would be the centerpiece of that show. I know a lot, but you can break it all down,
brother.
No, the thing is, like, Ronda Rousey, I feel like elevated the women's division, and when she is involved, elevates it to another level. Like, yes, there are people like Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bayley, some of these wrestlers there that have taken their wrestling up a notch, maybe even two. But then you add in Ronda Rousey, and you are literally like adding another elevation to it, in my opinion, because she just adds this element. I don't know what it is.
Well, there's a legitimacy about her, and I think that's what draws in a lot of people and makes it seem it will dramatically increase the importance of whatever match she's involved with.
Yeah.
And for me, speaking about Ronda, somebody that I'd like to see her do some actual work with storyline wise, and I hope she isn't just in. Yeah, you totally read my mind.
I know. I didn't have to because I was thinking the same thing.
That's been running through my mind since her first debut with the company. I really think those two could work really well together. Shayna Baszler had been working on the independents for a while before she came into NXT. And when she got into NXT, that woman really just came into her own. She was an absolute monster in the women's division. She really took over from when Asuka had got called up to the main roster, and she really held it down. And I feel like she doesn't get enough credit. No. But as soon as Shayna got up to the main roster, she just got lost in the shuffle, which we've heard before. But
surprise!
I'm hoping that there can be some sort of significant story between the two of them. I doubt it'll probably happen, but it's sort of a wishful thinking kind of deal.
I would agree there. And I think you saw shades of it in the Rumble too, and we'll see what happens, but you add her in the mix. And the thing is, if you want it to be legitimate, Ronda Rousey has to be on TV more often than not. It can't be one of these part-timer things. I'm not saying she has to wrestle at every Raw, but she's got to be on there. She's got to.
Right.
You got to compete.
You're right.
The Lesnar thing has been working, and the reason I've liked it is because he's been there every week. Sometimes
he hasn't felt like a part-timer.
Yeah. I don't give a shit if he comes back and wants to do what he's doing. I think it's overkill for him, like we talked about. But
absolutely.
Again, if you're going to show up and put in the work like these other guys do all year round, and they have worked very hard when you're not there to carry the company and do things, and then you just come back and stomp on them, you're the problem, not the solution.
Correct.
That's
we know. Obviously, when we talk about this to all our listeners, we're not even talking about the wrestlers themselves. We're talking about the behind the scenes, the people that are making these poor decisions.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. So,
go ahead. Last thing about the Women's Rumble.
Yep.
Lita looked awesome.
Oh, great. She did look a little.
I mean, who doesn't lose a step? But I think overall, she looked pretty good. I have this weird feeling that they might have more plans for her. If not, I remember reading something a couple of weeks ago about she was in talks with AEW to do a little something. So if nothing else, maybe she does like the Christian route. Like she's in the Rumble, it looked good, it was nice, and then she goes off and does something else on her own. That would be really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing Lita and Britt Baker, or Lita and Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill. I mean,
Yeah.
she's a real veteran presence, and I think could really do a good boost to that women's division, along with already some of the vets that they're signing.
I just hope she's not past the prime. Like I don't want to see her go in there and be herself, a shell of herself. And I know she's going to be a step behind. I understand all of that. I'm not stupid, but here's the thing. I just hope they use her correctly, because you could just see she had a lot of rust in there, and it wasn't edge rust, or she just seemed very slow.
Well, I think she's going to do just fine, to be honest. I mean, we've seen these other guys come back that clearly shouldn't have been back. Yeah. And we don't really complain about that. So let's...
Well, I think we do.
We do.
I think we've complained plenty about that.
But I think Lita's going to do just fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see.
Like anything, coming back in the Rumble, I think is a low risk for her, because it wasn't like she was having a singles match. And I remember her match at Evolution that she was in, that tag match. She did great.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
true.
think
when
just
was that?
being
That was
in
like
a match,
3 years
kind of
ago,
getting
4 years
back
ago?
in the paces, she's going to do just fine.
Okay. Listen, I'm all for it. I love Lita, so I have no qualms about
it's
it.
Good for women's wrestling if we have her coming back. Hell, I'd even take Ivory and right to censor get up. That was awesome. I was actually like, that was like the biggest shocker for me, was her coming out like that.
Yeah. Why don't some of these women come back as like managers for some of these younger women? Like you don't see women wrestlers with too many managers besides what's his name?
Yeah.
What the heck's that guy's name? We'll call him Regal, but it's not Regal. Rigel?
What? You mean Reginald?
Reginald. Oh my God.
Rigel. Where did you get that name from?
Hey, I'm good for one fumble up every episode. So
wait till the next episode, folks.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Before we move on to the next part, I want to talk about this other thing. It goes Rumble related.
Mm-hmm.
That Ultimate Royal Rumble thing that I saw.
Oh yeah, I watched.
I want to talk about it quickly because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
But let's end the Royal Rumble review here with a grade. I'm giving it a solid D+. Like that is how I felt, and I could border on a C-. The reason I'm giving it a D+, I hated it. Like I did build it up a good amount, and you know what?
Yeah.
I don't think I was wrong in doing that. Like it should be an event that you can make watchable. It's not hard. So that's how I look at it. I give it a D+. That's my grade.
Not that this even matters. I mean, it's all arbitrary, but I would say like a C-. I mean, it's right there on the cusp. And for me, it's only because the women's Rumble, the Becky Lynch match, and the story with Reigns and Heyman. Yeah,
that's fair, and I agree. I got to tell you though, before we move on, I'm actually starting to really like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee.
Yeah, it shows that a 2-man booth is actually much more preferred now than how many guys they have on commentary across wrestling now. There's there's always 3 or 4 guys on commentary, and it's just like there's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, but you can tell they let Pat McAfee kind of do his own thing.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the Raw guys, it's that manufactured shit. Like, for the most part, Corey Graves is fine, but he's still got that, like, there's something about him that doesn't hit home with me. He's kind of like your Jerry Lawler type, like that really kind of is. Yeah. But Pat McAfee, I don't know. You can tell he enjoys it when he comes out. Oh, shining moment. I forgot to mention this.
All right.
Rick Boogs. I give him a lot of credit. Dude, when he came out and he bench pressed those guys and
that was impressive. That was impressive.
I think he's going to be
coming out here looking like Rick Rude.
Well, yeah. And he looks like Freddie Mercury. It's weird.
It is weird. It is weird.
But I see something in that guy. I don't know what it is. I have a feeling he's going to do something, and they're going to remember his Rick Boog's gig and be like, what the hell were we doing?
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep. You're going to see it. Okay. Anything else you wanted to add on the Rumble?
No,
That maybe we.
No, I think we've discussed it to nauseum.
Well, we did mention the Kofi Kingston missed spot. Apparently.
Oh yeah.
And look, it's going to happen when you do stuff like that. But apparently, he had more spots with Big E throughout the Rumble that they were supposed to do that had to get axed because Big E just again. What a
he had like
build-up.
no impact in that Rumble whatsoever. He took an RKO and then got dumped out. And I'm like, that's only your former WWE champion, like your most recent champion.
Yeah, I don't understand it. You know what would be really cool, right? Is I like Big E as a baby face.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I've really gotten to like him, but you want to make a great WrestleMania main event for next year. Turn him heel against the New Day and bring back like a Farouk and to be on Big E's side is kind of like a small mini nation of domination and they're fighting against each other.
That could be interesting.
Dude, you could build that up so good with everything going on in the world today and like make it really good because clearly these guys like each other and we've seen them all on the same page for so long. All of a sudden you get that.
Sure.
I just think it would be a cool way to kind of change it up a little bit. And honestly, if you're not going to give Big E the title, what are we doing? Like, it just is a waste of time. At least get him in there so he has some good storylines. So,
yep. No, just when we thought we were out, we get pulled back in.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I want to see. Like, you can do stuff like that, and they're capable of it, but just keep it going. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about this Ultimate Royal Rumble, unless you have anything else.
No, I got nothing else.
So this Ultimate Royal Rumble, if you guys haven't seen it, it's on the WWE Network, and I found it fascinating. There's 3 guys on there. Honestly, I don't know all their names, but I'm going to say this right now. I welcome any of those 3 guys to come on this show and go one-on-one with me and Mike. Okay? They come on this show, and basically the Ultimate Royal Rumble is they took a bunch of names. They sat down. They had 30 minutes. They brainstormed names of all the Royal Rumble, mostly winners and people that go in there. They get 30 names. And then one of the guys, the bald guy, I can't think of his name.
Sam Roberts.
Is it Sam Roberts?
Yeah, I think it's
okay.
him.
That's the guy. I want him. I'm challenging him to a podcast off on this Ultimate Royal Rumble.
I'm sure he's shaking in his boots.
Listen, you can't tell me. This is what pissed me off about that. I love the fact that he came in and literally they gave a list of names and he just rattled off like how it was going to go up. And it was awesome. I was enthralled by it. I literally was.
It was better than what we saw at the actual pay-per-view overall.
110%. But you can't tell me Hulk Hogan isn't on that Royal Rumble. He's a 2-time Rumble winner. And, like, all he ever did was win Royal Rumbles. Like, you can't tell me he's not on there. Look, you can debate about Hulk Hogan all you want.
No, I get you.
He 110%.
He should be included in it.
And you also can't tell me Jericho's not on there. Like, you have all these
I think that
bums.
was more of a because he's an AEW thing. I think that's from the top.
It doesn't matter. You put him on there. Jericho was like the Michaels of the Royal Rumble. You can't not have him on there.
No, I know.
They got Shane O'Mac in the Royal Rumble. How many Royal Rumbles has Shane O'Mac been in? Like, you don't need him in that garbage. Like, no, I disagree. And you don't have,
No, they did the same thing with the women's one when he did that. Because they include Brie Bella, but they don't have fucking Natalya on there. Yeah. Natalya is one of the best veterans that roster has. Yep. That woman has incredible experience and has pretty consistently been, like, largely underutilized by the WWE for the better part of 10, 11 years now that she's been with the company. I mean, how do you not put her in that Rumble? But anyway, I mean, I guess this is that's the subjectivity of it, is all these guys, what they think is the ultimate Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Well, I challenge him. Come on here.
Yeah.
Let's go. I mean, one-on-one. Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm with you now, Vito.
Yeah, let's go.
I was kind of hesitant and was just going to let you fight this battle on your own. But
No.
let me tell you something, brother. I'm going to tag in, and the Mega Powers. What you gonna do, Sam Roberts?
Oh yeah.
The Gorilla Crew runs wild on you.
Listen, I love it, and listen, the way the guy, he was so passionate. Listen, you know why I'm going to call him? If there's a parallel, it would probably be me, because he was just like, they were all giving suggestions on who they wanted in there. He's like, no, we are not doing this without this person on there. He wanted Shane O'Mac in that Royal Rumble, like
for whatever reason.
He wanted him in there. But if they wanted a celebrity, like, you don't need to bring a past celebrity. Like, they're in there for like 2 minutes. Who gives a shit? How about David Arquette? He should be the celebrity that's in the Royal Rumble, right?
You can't kill him.
Biggest heel celebrity you could ever imagine without even being a heel. Like, you just bring him in.
Talk about a guy that got blamed for somebody else's booking decision.
Yeah, and I feel bad for him, but that would be a great one. So anyways, they go off on these tangents, and it's more entertaining than you would think. Like, if someone was going to explain a Royal Rumble to me, I would sit there and be like, okay, like, whatever. But the guy did a great job. I'll give him his due.
I'll give him credit. He had a thorough story already cooked out. Good for him.
Yeah, I would love, maybe we should do an episode like that, just to compare notes on what we would choose versus what they would choose. We should just rattle them off. We got 30 minutes, right? And I don't know that either of us could do the job that he did in explaining the Royal Rumble.
I'm not that creative.
I would botch that so bad.
Yeah, big time.
But check it out on the WWE Network. I think they had one the year before too.
It's called the Ultimate Show.
Yeah,
and if you go in, they just have all these different Ultimate lists that they do. So and this one was pretty interesting.
What I liked about it is they're not by the book. Like, you can tell they just are fans. Like, they don't talk about these people like they're trying to build someone's credibility. They just,
right.
This guy is like passionate about what he wants to talk about, and I love it. I do. He's like Vinnie Berry. He's like the Vinnie Berry of the Ultimate Show.
Hell yeah.
So that was that. So
a couple of little AEW notes should we go to?
Well, before we hit that, what are our thoughts on WrestleMania? I know we didn't really kind of finish that conversation.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I want to build that up a little bit, because I'm sure we're going to do a show previewing WrestleMania when it comes up.
I think they probably will be heading towards Ronda and Becky.
Yeah, which would be cool.
But, I mean, I think I didn't get to watch Raw as we're recording this on Tuesday.
I didn't either.
But I saw like a little clip of Ronda pulling a promo and mentioning Becky, so I think that's probably what's going to happen. And obviously Lesnar and Reigns. But other than that, I really don't have much enough of an idea yet of where they're going with what.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to even guess at this point, because everything changes so rapidly that it's hard to really see where anything else is really going.
Let's see if they can build something up here. Like, let's see if they can actually get a plan and build up a decent storyline for some of these matches, because that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to have 2 days of it, so it's going to be a jumbled mess. You know,
we still got Elimination Chamber as well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I know some of the talks is like having Randy Orton win the belt and doing a Randy Orton versus Matt Riddle match, and I wouldn't mind it. But like, I just feel like it'll be rushed.
The Rumble, then.
Well, that's exactly it. Like, that's exactly it. You can't just expect that to happen and people to be invested in it. Like, I like RK Bro. I actually think it's one of the shining things. And I think it's almost like you can get away with Randy Orton not giving a shit, because Matt Riddle kind of makes up for that, you know? And it works, right? But seeing them against each other, I just don't know what Randy Orton will get.
He doesn't really need to get anything at this point.
Well, that's it.
That's not really what it is. It's about giving.
But I wonder if he would be willing to do that with him. I'm curious to see. I did like, on the Matt Riddle subject, Kevin Owens is the first person, I think, that I've seen that actually was smart enough to give the foot stomp on this guy, because he doesn't wear boots to the ring. And it was hilarious. Like, how has nobody ever not done that? Like, where they stomp on his feet because he's got no boots on.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to wear, I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm curious to see where Kevin Owens goes too. Okay, I know we're running short on time, and we've rambled on a ton about WWE. I know you wanted to. There were two other things that we wanted to touch on. They're kind of a little bit, you know. You wanted to mention the Walter name change. Let's move that to the next one.
Yeah,
because
we can cover that at another time. It's just
and
how
it's
about
just another.
It's
It's another.
stupid. Let's
Well,
just put it that way.
it's another
Real
dump
simple.
on WWE. Yeah, it is stupid. It is really dumb.
There you go. Not much else needs to be said. It's just stupid.
And then, okay, talking about AEW, let's get into a couple things here, because I'm going to tell you that the last couple weeks, I
not the strongest shows.
Not the strongest shows. I would say the beach.
The beach break.
Beach break was pretty good, but the Dynamite before that was probably the weakest one I've seen. In some time. But one of the things is, I think as AEW starts to climb, like, they're going to realize that not everything they say is going to be gold. Yep. And you put something on here about the use of blood and a WWE criticizing them on it. Give me your thoughts on that, because I'm in your camp on this.
It's just dumb. I mean, they had Rey Mysterio lose an eye, so they don't need to be like getting in everybody's face about like, how could you do that? That's so gory. Like, yeah. So I put that on there just because it was just another example of their own little hypocrisy, and they're in a hissy fit because their show really hasn't been that great. So it's just them throwing shade. That's the way I see it. But
and I think they've done a good job with it. JR says it best. You know, I enjoy his podcast, and he talks about blood a couple times in there where it's like, you can't overdo it, but if you use it right and do it the right way, sure. And I think they kind of have. I mean, maybe a little bit over the top on some of them, but it just adds that sense of realness to it where, you know, when WWE does it, they got to black it out. You can't even show it. Like, there's some things you can just do because it makes sense.
Just handle it responsibly when there is blood. I mean, all the refs tend to get the gloves out and stuff. And I think in 2022, like, those are the things you need to do. Like, it can't just be willy-nilly anymore. Like, oh, let's not worry about any communicable diseases when there's blood involved. Like, let's make it look like people are trying to take some medical precautions when this stuff goes down. Yep. And every once in a while in a match in AEW, when there's a lot of blood, you'll see them sort of not really stop the match, but they'll be a little quick aside and be wiping stuff down. And, you know, that's fine. It doesn't take me out of the match. I've sort of accepted that now in like the modern wrestling product, especially on televised shows. This is the stuff that's going to have to happen. And I just like accept it. It's sort of, I don't let it take me out anymore. So,
hey, you know me, I'm the hardcore guy of this group. I love me some hardcore death matches. I love it, man. That's just my style. I've always liked it. New Jack for life.
Yeah.
And but I'm fine with it, dude.
No, I am too. So
I don't need it every match. I don't need every match to be a hardcore match. I
really don't.
But I like having the one or two in there that are like that. It just brings some excitement. Like when NXT, the match between Kevin O'Reilly and Adam Cole, awesome matches, dude. I love them.
Yeah.
I just wish WWE, look, you can still stay PG for the most part, but you gotta, like, you have 3 brands. You have 3 brands. They don't all need to be the same. You can take one and make it a little bit more gritty than the other, especially on Fox or like NXT. They were doing that with NXT to some degree, and I was fine with it. It gives you someone who may not be as interested in the Raw stuff can be interested in NXT or SmackDown. You can kind of see the SmackDown brand having a little bit of grit, but I agree with you on the WWE thing. Let me ask you this question, because I want to talk AEW here for a couple minutes before we have to end the show. What were your thoughts on Moxley coming back?
I thought it was great to see him back. I think the crowd was legitimately interested in what he had to say that first promo he was back. And I think that was the reason they were so quiet. It was really interesting because typically during those kinds of promos, return promos, crowds get very into it and noisy and just making all the chants, like the good stuff, you know, like, oh, welcome back, you deserve it, all that stuff. And it was really interesting. Like they were like dead silent. They just wanted to hear what he had to say. And like that fan incident aside, I don't know if that guy got thrown out or what. To be honest, I really don't care at this point. But it was just something people got upset about or some sort of controversy online. But honestly, I think him coming back, I thought it was a great segment. I think it was really feel good. People were happy to see him back. He looked really great. He leaned out. You could tell in his face that he looked healthy. And I know that part of this is going to lead into like this whole Bully Ray take or whatever. We don't need to devote too much time to this when it really comes down to it, because I really just think it was a shitty take. And listen, you get on a podcast, you have a radio show, you go on long enough, you're going to have a couple of dud takes, and this was one of them.
Oh, we have plenty of them all the time, so I'm not worried about it.
And you know what? He caught shit for it, rightfully so. And now let's move on.
And you know what? I like Bully Ray. I think his opinions, for the most part, are usually pretty good. I'll tell you this: he's a good mind for the business, right? For the most part. And I disagreed with his take, and I think a lot of people did. And I think if you asked him that question again, he would think about it and probably say, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. So. Yeah, I just think he would. I think he would. I don't think he gets it to that degree. And I think he's also a WWE homer in that respect. Like, I think he was a TNA guy, and I don't think he is like this loyalist to WWE. But I think if he's gonna take the side of WWE over AEW. And I think that's where we were at. And I think he just probably got a little too caught up in it. But yeah, I think most people would disagree with that. I don't think anybody owes an apology to fans for going to treatment to get yourself right. That's on Moxley, and I'm happy he did that. There's a lot of wrestlers that it could have gone the other way. I mean, it could have gone the other way. And we've seen already what happens when they don't. Yeah, so we know, and it's good to see that part of wrestling is improving. I know we talked about Dynamite a couple weeks ago not being the best, and it just, there was something off about it. And you know what? That's fine. You're going to have up and down episodes, but I'll tell you, they came back extremely strong on the last week with the Cody Rhodes
and the Sammy
Guevara match.
This was now, really well done.
Let me ask you. You said Sammy doesn't really do it for you. Did that match, improve the Sammy Guevara for you?
I think it was a great match. He did awesome. His athleticism and his wrestling ability is not what I call into question. It's just like his character for me just does nothing. Yeah. But that was a really good match. He had one of the best RKOs I've ever seen. It was well done. It was like a Jeff Hardy Edge moment, like the spear. It was awesome. And let's see what happens now.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and you know what? Cody Rhodes is such an enigma to me. Like, I want to love the guy. I want to hate the guy. Overall, I respect the guy. You know what I mean? But I can understand why fans are booing him. He's kind of getting the Rock treatment. Yeah. He's definitely getting the Rock treatment on that one. So we'll see what happens. But
we'll keep revisiting this, though.
Yeah, let's table this because we're short on time here. Yeah. I think we covered the Rumble. Mm-hmm. We're good to go. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up here?
No, nothing else here. I think we covered a lot of ground today.
Okay, I agree. I just want to let listeners know we have a fantastic episode coming up next week with Vinny Berry, author of the Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 1. He's the same guy that came on last season and talked about the Lance by Chance book he had. I think it's going to be a great listen. Make sure you tune in. If you have any opinions on this show, let us know. We are, our Twitter and our TikTok are at @from_gorilla. Our Facebook is at SFG Podcast. And our Instagram is at SF Gorilla Pod. Make sure you tweet at us. If you're listening and you like the show, make sure you give us a rating on the
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcasts or any of the applications you're listening to. Especially shout out to Ireland. I know we're number 16 wrestling podcast in Ireland. Woo woo. So thanks for listening today, and we will see you on the next episode.
We now return your perception of reality to you. Until next time.